Machine's broken.
Putting the head on the unit. Here's the two hooks you want to hook into right here. The lower part of the hooks have to go into the lower part of here. So, just gonna slide it on here. And make sure it sits down and is actually sitting on this bar. Next thing to do, let's load the labels. Remove the exit roller, lift the door, pull out the little kickstand. It's easier if you remove the first set of labels here. The label should be one of pressure sensitive, machine applicable labels. Otherwise they may tear. Under this bar, these should be able to loosen up and slide back and forth. Out through the front. And back in. I'm going to take a little bit more so you can see a little bit better. You want the knob on the side to the thread position. So you can push this up through here. And give me this kickstand. Now to drop out. Lock it in. Should feel it snap into position. You could try to pull it from the back until you still see that first label peel off. That. Slide these up. Stick the roller back on. Alright, take-up spool. This can come out, take the C-clip off. The gear side goes into a hole and then it just slides in. And clip it on. The whole head does slide back and forth so you can position it, set your position left to right on the envelope. And set up the envelopes. Knob on the side has a thin, thick setting. Counterclockwise is thicker, clockwise is thinner. Turn it to the thinner position till I feel it grab a little bit here. Just grabbing a little bit, should not allow the second envelope to go through. Slide our guides in, loosen this up a little bit. When you put the pieces in, it's best if you fan fold them back a little bit. It's also easiest if you have one already in there. Stack nicely. Tighten up the guides a little bit. We don't want it so tight that it's going to hold the piece back. That's good. Put the rest of our envelopes on here. Turn it on, test the feeder. When you first turn it on, the front part should automatically start going. Turn the feed on. And the slide pod will let it go faster and slower. We just want to check to see if they're going through smoothly. And they are. Put the label on. Here it just spun and didn't advance the label. And it says label is missing. I should have turned this to the run position. Try that again. Label on. Now I've snapped one label down in place and the label light is on. The label ready light's on. Showing that the label's down into position. Right now, position set to 8 inches from the leading edge. So I'm going to move that down. And stick it at 2.5. The feedback on. Check my position. That looks pretty good. If we need to move it over a little bit, just slide the head over a little bit. And that's all there is to setting it up. Now, some of the problems you could have is something stuck in the feed section. You get the piece ready light stays on all the time. It's because the sensor down here is blocked for some reason. You might need to take the front cover off. We have it off so you can see inside here. Three screws on the bottom, that pops off. And you can see down to where the sensor is, right there. Sensor's on this bracket, the white part here. You take the head off, you can see the upper part of the sensor in the hole. Usually maybe a label or a piece of paper got stuck down in there, or just a lot of dust. So if the piece ready light stays on all the time, that's what's going on there. If the label ready light stays on all the time, or if you're getting multiple labels, it's probably a label sensor. The lid is out. Your label sensor is a tiny hole right there. A lot of times that collects dust. Spray it out with some air. Don't clean it with any solvent or anything like that. The top part is up here. Make sure there's nothing in there. There should also be a tape around this edge. If you're finding your labels are ripping, the thick tape might be off of here. Sometimes labels get stuck on there and people go to clean it off and kill that tape.